Let's get this party rolling. Welcome, everyone. It is lovely to see you here. Whether you are an inner freedom, outer vision, or as we fondly refer to it as IFOV, regular, or someone new, we have been doing these things for a while because we just love to share our tools, tricks, tips, and all that jazz.
Yeah.
This is part of our hearts and aligns with our own vision. So, big question today. What is sparking your desire to shake up your mindset?
The sweet smell of a new year, 2024, January. It's like the perfect setup for diving into something fresh and exciting.
Yes. And how many of you are feeling the need for a major shift?
Whatever's driving you, just remember the world is full of every possibility, endless, in fact. So let's gear up, adjust that mindset camera lens, and dial into some serious focus.
Yes. Are you ready for the journey?
I
know we are.
Yeah, we're always ready.
All right, so we're going to do a little assessment of where our mindset is right now. So let's start with your current emotional state. How do you generally feel on a day-to-day basis? Are you content? Are you stressed, motivated? Perhaps you are a mix of emotions. So please feel free to share in the chat. Where are you right now? Content, stressed, motivated, mixed? And if you're mixed, what is it a mix of? So we've got mixed, stressed, mostly exhausted.
Stay content, happy with my performance. Excellent. Mixed. Okay. And carry on sharing. And what about your thoughts and your thought patterns? Do you pay attention to the recurring thoughts in your mind? And are they mostly positive, negative, or neutral? And what themes are dominating your thinking? So share in the chat, what are your thought patterns? Are they positive, negative, or neutral? And what's a theme or themes that's dominating your thinking right now? What about you, Danny? What's your thought patterns? What's dominating yours? Are they positive, negative?
Well, my first response was cheesy Chinese dramas, but that's because the conversation we had earlier today.
Okay, but, so that's quite neutral, or is that negative or positive?
Well, you know, for the most part, my thoughts are mostly positive. I probably, you know, I've been exploring. I have the occasional negative thoughts, and then there's like I've been noticing neutral thoughts, which is new for me because usually my previous thoughts have been charged. So for me, I'm going to go with mostly positive. In regards to the cheesy Chinese dramas, we're going to go with neutral because I can watch them and just sort of relax and enjoy the backgrounds and the drama, and they're just really pretty. I mean, that's really why I watch them.
So what's dominating your thinking while you're watching these Chinese dramas?
Oh my God, I was not expecting that question today.
Yeah.
Well, they're relaxing, and it's actually I get to be pretty present because I'm just enjoying the backgrounds and the beauty of the show.
Yeah.
Oh man. So it looks like we've got a lot of mix happening. So that's good. That's
okay.
So
we've got negative, we've got good emotionally, thoughts, opportunities to come, but can't get them too close, get them too close. Asking what are the blocks causing it. Yeah. Positive and neutral, trying to keep them positive, focus on how to deal with stress from negative situations. Old patterns returning, turning my thoughts critical. Okay. In the negative, the last 2 days, thinking free, I'm not good enough to build and create a new business or a great business. Mixed, going up and down these days, swinging between two extremes, watching it from afar. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Negative in general with me as well. Lots of unexpected things happening. Let's blame the moon. We could blame the moon, or we could not blame the moon. We'll see about that one later.
Yes. All right. So now we're going to ask you about your energy levels. So, do you assess your energy levels throughout the day? Do you feel consistently energized, or are there specific times you notice a dip? So, share in the chat. How is your energy? Do we have it's high? Is it consistent? Does it dip? Is it a freaking roller coaster?
Is it
Is
low?
it low?
That's interesting, because if you'd asked me this question last week, I would have said dipping and low, dipping and low, dipping and low. This week, I'm at the other, I'm high and consistent, high and consistent. And it's interesting because what's impacting that has actually been a switch in my food choices and making some dramatic changes. And because with that, the body says, oh, you've just changed something. Oh, I better go down here while I work out what the bloody hell you've just done to me, excuse my language. But because it's trying to work it out. Having said all of that, of course, my energy doesn't just come from the fuel that I'm putting in my mouth.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to that again later.
So it looks like we've got some exhaustion, 1 day on, 2 days off. So somebody's doing the cha-cha. I hear you. Energy depends on thoughts and emotions. Once that I have sorted it, it goes up. I assess when I wake up and think about it throughout the day. So we do have some people, not everybody thinks about this, guys. So that's why we're doing a little bit of an assessment beforehand. There's been low, we've got green smoothies and giving energy. There's a high for today. Last week was middle to low, so we got trouble getting out of bed. So not exhausted as before, but still there's, so I'm noticing how many of you guys on the call today, and you can just like show your hands, how many of you are feeling exhausted or dealing with exhausted? And yeah, I mean, the point is it's a cycle, right? So how you feel today, you might feel different tomorrow, and you might have felt different last week. So yeah.
Food and timing affects emotions. Yeah, what's going on in the gut? Absolutely. Yeah. So now we're going to move on to how about mind clutter? Consider the clutter in your mind. Are there unresolved issues or concerns that are occupying your thoughts? And how might addressing those impact your mindset? Again, share in the chat. What's about the mind clutter? What's cluttering your mind, Danny? Apart from Chinese dramas.
This is what happens when Heidi and I have discussions before these, just in the forefront. For me, most people who know me, I tend to think in terms of large amounts. So you know, people are like, Danny, can you get down to one thing? And I'm always thinking of like 5, 10, 20. So for me, it is what I've learned to do with my clutter is to just focus on being present in the moment. And that really helps me to do that. And I was joking with Heidi before saying I just kind of, whereas before I would just kind of, if you're imagining it as dust, I would just sort of scatter the thoughts and let them just sort of fly away. And now I'm sweeping them up in, you know, figurative piles and okay, we're going to put this in this category and this over here and this over here. So mind clutter is definitely something that I work with, and I address them by the more present I am, the more it helps my focus. So
yeah, that's an interesting share from Borju here. Future thoughts is the mind clutter. So future thoughts is actually thinking about the future, but you're actually thinking, which is a good thing. But future thoughts is what hasn't even happened yet. And that's creating mind clutter. That's quite interesting because that senses to me like there's a little bit of worry in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I have lots of mind clutter. Way too much clutter. Work related. But again, yeah, okay. Work related with a bit of personal family issues as well. Okay. Taking away the peace of today. My mind is very sneaky. Minds are sneaky.
Mhm.
It whispers criticism in between the neutral thoughts. Okay.
Yeah.
But how many things I want to do and be part of, and choosing which one to invest my time into.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I hear you on that one.
Yeah. Broken heart related mind clutter.
Mm,
And that's about sorrow and, you know, sadness and grief. Absolutely. And then that creates all sorts of thoughts. And that's a
mhm.
process. Yeah, that is a
Yes,
process. Yeah, absolutely.
it is. So I just talked about being present and presence. So let's take a moment to look at the presence in this moment. So right now, assess how you are in your daily activities. Are you fully engaged in what you're doing, or do distractions often take you away from the moment? Where are you? Excuse me. How present are you in your daily activities? Because we just talked about mind clutter, so I know some of you maybe aren't as present as you'd like to be, and that's, you know,
So
we
you're
got
here with us now, but you're actually
yes,
distracted thinking about something else. So what's
Mhm.
going on for you?
Yes.
It's funny, you know, because I was talking to Danny earlier. My biggest distraction actually was having other people living in my home, and that was through choice. But since they've now moved out, my distraction is no longer the same. In fact, I'm no longer distracted. I'm back in control of what I want to do and allowing myself to be in the present moment with what I'm doing. If my phone rings, I have a choice. I can either choose to answer it or not. I can choose to be distracted or not. I can stay focused on what I'm trying to do in that moment or not. And having that freedom and that space has taken away a lot of the distraction. I realized, you know, just how long I've been distracted for, and I'd coped with it and managed, but equally how draining that is,
Mhm.
because that drain is disappearing, or it has disappeared.
Yeah.
I put the plug in the bath, so to speak. The mental clutter and the distraction. Yeah.
And it looks like we have quite a few distractions happening. So you are
Mm.
not alone. You are not
No.
alone.
So what is your openness and attitude to change? Are you open to new ideas and perspectives? Or do you find yourself resistant to change? Because with the clutter and trying to be in the present moment, that can also be a way of distracting yourself and moving away and preventing change happening. So are you open, resistant, or closed to change?
I would love to tell you all that I am so open to change and that I just embrace every change that comes my way. And for the most part, I do. However, I'm also resistant to certain change, especially if it involves, if there is some fear or other emotions involved, then I tend to be a little bit resistant. But for the
So,
most part, my intention is to be open to change.
so when I say, Danny, you're no longer going to watch Chinese dramas and you're going to get rid of the mental clutter and you're going to be present in the moment of what you want to do, how are you going to manage that change?
Oh, that is a great question.
Are
I'm
we going
gonna
to be
have to.
resistant?
There is a part of me that wants to embrace that. There's also a part of me that's like, I'm not giving them up. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But again,
Yes,
it's about noticing what is it that you're
exactly.
resisting change to. It's
Hmm.
not necessarily that you may
Yep.
be very open to change, but in that moment of something happening, something arising, and suddenly you need to make a change,
Hmm.
then the resistance come in, or you're close to it. No, I'm choosing. No, I can't do that. Or, oh, no, that feels awkward.
Hmm.
So it's about recognizing what's happening and what's it creating in you and why.
Yes. We've got a nice mixture in the chat. We've got somewhat open, definitely open, huge resistance in the past, but now considering embracing it. And sometimes it feels scary. Yes, we don't like scary and discomfort. I mean, well, I say most people don't like the scary discomfort. We have resistance, open. I feel like I'm missing the point or losing track of it. Consciously open, but subconsciously saboteur.
And subconscious saboteur, just to say there's more than one saboteur, you'll have several, and start to get to know them and have a good chat with them, and even give them a name and say, hi, glad to see you here. You can help me, or you can go away.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love this by default resistance, although intentionally being open to change. Yes, and more. Yes. So
yeah, beautiful.
And then the trouble to change things when it's dependent on another person. We might touch on that a little bit later.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we're going to end on a note that is very dear to my heart. We're going to do a quick gratitude check. So I would love you to reflect on the things you appreciate in your life right now. Are you acknowledging and expressing gratitude for these? Or is there room for improvement? So share with us in the chat. I know Heidi has a gratitude practice daily.
I do that every day, looking at gifts. And it's funny, I was telling Danny a story earlier. I took my granddaughter swimming yesterday. And that's the first time I've ever taken her. She's only 3, she can't swim yet. And I had no clue what that was going to look and feel like, but she could walk all around the training pool, and she was doing it really, really carefully. And I was there with, and then all of a sudden she slipped and she went right to the bottom of the pool. And I just, in one fell swoop, I just scooped her up and just told her to cough, 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 cough. And she coughed, she coughed, she coughed. She got all the water out of her lungs. And then I just massaged her back, got her up onto the side and said to her, now just nice breathing, in through your mouth, out through your mouth, in through your mouth. Nice, gentle, slow breathing. Now, what does that all remind us of? What do we need right? And sometimes in a moment, we just need that cough, let something out, and the breathing just. And she just stayed completely calm, looking at me, and she said, can we go back to the pool now, please, Nana? Beautiful. Now that went straight in my gratitude journal, because it was actually gratitude for what could have been a huge traumatic moment. But it wasn't traumatic because I hadn't allowed it to become so. And what was interesting was 2 nights before, I'd had the dream where my own daughter, when she was very tiny, she was only 6 months old, I was in the swimming pool and I'd slipped. And we'd both gone to the bottom of the pool. And somebody else had brought her to the surface. So that had clearly been a fear in my mind that something like it was going to happen again. But it did happen, only I was actually prepared for it, and it was beautiful. No trauma, gratitude. So I'm just going to say to you, we've covered lots of things here about your emotional state, your thought patterns, your energy levels, your mind clutter, looking at the present moment, being open to change or resistant to change. Out of all of those complex things, the limiting things, the problematic things, which of those have you put down as being grateful for? Because that's where gratitude comes too. It's in every moment for everything that's come your way.
Yep.
What have we got here? Just going back through.
I'm grateful for all the care and love in my life by the people around me and myself towards myself. Grateful for the personal development I have undertaken. Yeah. Louise L. Hayes morning meditation to remind me to be grateful for the good thing, taking the good things for granted, and for getting lost in what isn't right takes over easily. Yeah. People's lessons and things. General career, personal items is my focus. So if you don't have a gratitude practice, we highly encourage.
Yes, absolutely. I'm grateful for where I've come the past few years. The journey it's the journey that got you to where you are now. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Let's move us on.
Okay, so we're gonna ask you guys more questions, and you can just share in the chat whatever comes up for you as we go through these. We're gonna take a closer look at what you are focusing on and whether that's even where you want to be. So are you consciously aware of where your attention is directed throughout the day? How often do you check in with yourself to assess your focus and where it's naturally drawn?
And if you do that, I'd just say, how do you do that? Drop that into the chat, because that'd be really nice to share. And then reflect on the predominant subjects or thoughts that occupy your mind. What is it that's tending to capture your attention the most? And are these focal points aligned with your goals, your values, and your overall well-being? Share that in the chat too.
And do you approach your tasks and activities with a clear intention regarding where you want to direct your focus? How might adopting a more intentional focus positively impact your productivity and your satisfaction? So we're giving you lots of things to think about.
Just going to give you a moment. We've thrown a lot of questions at you. I'm aware of that. Not that we're trying to give you mind clutter.
And it's okay if the answer is no as well. Like,
absolutely,
these are things you may not consider. Not everybody does. So
if the answer's coming to your mind says, I have no idea, that's fine. Yeah. And when you're ready, consider the areas of your life where you invest significant mental and physical energy. Are they yielding positive returns? And are there aspects that drain your energy? And can you explore ways to redirect it towards more fulfilling pursuits? So can you shift what's draining you to what's elevating you?
it looks like a couple of people are being aware of their negative thoughts and keeping track of them. So go you guys.
Yeah. And it is about intercepting patterns. It's about catching them. Yeah.
Intercepting, catching them, and sometimes interrupting them.
Yes.
So another thing to think about is if you identify the common distractions, and I know from reading your posts that a couple of you have mentioned being distracted. How can you minimize or eliminate these distractions? So are there detours in your focus that are preventing you from achieving your desired outcomes? And how can you navigate back on track? So for example, if you're trying to eat healthy, leaving the bag of chips or chocolate or foods that you don't want to eat right out on the table may not be a good idea. Maybe
even having them in the cupboard might not be a good idea.
Yeah, like maybe
shift
you want
them out.
Yeah. So like what can you remove or relocate or instead of focusing on everything that's wrong, what if you focused on what's right?
That's actually that's quite a big one, because my common distraction was actually having my daughter, son-in-law and granddaughter living in my house for 3 years. Well, the two of them for 5 years, but my granddaughter was 3 years of that. So how could I minimize or eliminate the distraction actually was quite dramatic, because I moved them out of my house. Now that sounds quite negative, and it's not intended to be. They needed to move on with their own life. But equally, it helped me to achieve my desired outcome. And sometimes it's about making hard and tough decisions that says something's got to give. Yeah. So having gone through all of those questions, assess whether your current focus aligns with your short and long-term goals, or in terms of your vision. Are you completely aligned with your short and long-term goals? And are there adjustments needed to ensure that your focus contributes to the fulfillment of your aspirations? These are your aspirations. This is your life going forward. This is your vision. It's where you want to go. So are you focused to achieve those aspirations?
I like that. Starting doing the most important tasks early in the morning before the world awakens. So I will go to bed earlier to create this habit. Lots of adjustments needed. Guess what? You only have to start with one. We're just getting you to think about things. We're getting those juices flowing right now. So, all righty. Okay, so one of the things we've been talking about is mindset. And if you change your mindset, how would that shift? So we're just going to ask you some questions for you to think about. If your mindset became more positive and empowered, how do you think your daily life and experiences would change? If your mindset became more positive and empowered, how do you think your daily life and experiences would change? Heidi, you are muted. So if you are saying anything, we cannot hear you.
You can now.
Yes. I was wondering where you were. I was like, Heidi, it's your cue.
Significantly improved. Absolutely agree. Uplifted. Tough question. Let me get the change and then answer. Will the answer, the thought process, actually elevate and create the change?
Mm-hmm.
That's my question back to you. It makes you more determined, more fulfilled, energized, and accomplished. Yeah. So now picture life through a lens of positivity, openness, and resilience. You are now positive, open, and resilient. That's who you are. In this moment, right now, that's who you are. So what new opportunities or insights are you now going to notice because that's who you are? You've just stepped into that being, that person, and give it a name if you want to. You can think about what they're wearing if you want to, or you can just embrace it in your body right now. I am positive, open, and resilient. Opportunities are coming my way. What are you going to notice? What insights are you going to get just from that shift?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. So renovating the house, hip replacement. Both of those are positive things.
Mm-hmm.
Making those changes, it's crazy how it's working. Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and think about where you currently spend your time. If you imagine reallocating it based on your values. So how might this impact your overall well-being?
And yes, Lifebook is so fantastic.
It is.
We
It
agree.
is.
Yeah, we absolutely agree.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going to step up that thinking even more. Envision everything working out as you hope. There you are. You're positive, you're open, resilient. You've got spending time. You're reallocating it based on your values. And everything is working out just as you hoped it would. Mm-hmm. So how would your overall sense of well-being change as well? Mm-hmm. What's that going to do to you, for you? That's okay, Cindy.
Yeah, another thing to think about too is, what if you replaced negative questions or negative thoughts with empowering ones? So you've imagined everything working out. Now, those thoughts creep up every now and then. And what if you replace them? What if you came up with new questions, new thoughts? How might this shift your mindset and open up new possibilities? Yeah.
So every time you get one of those, you catch it and you say, oh, thank you very much, but I'm changing you now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to change you to this that's positive, open, resilient, empowered.
See the word content popping up. Yeah.
And grateful, gratitude, come back in.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
To be content the whole time with myself and who I am. Absolutely. So if you approach challenges, any challenge, no matter how small or how big, if you approach that with curiosity and resilience, what opportunities might open up for your personal and professional growth? And take it even a step further. Any challenge, every challenge. Be curious and resilient.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look at this, see what I can do with it, how I can adjust, how can I do it differently? What more how can I play with this? Who can I get to help me?
Mm-hmm.
What if? I wonder how. I wonder if. Doing it with my business growth strategy, it's super exciting. That's brilliant. Every challenge. Curiosity. Just be curious with it. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to move us on. You can carry on thinking. That's what it's all about.
Don't worry, all of these questions will make sense when we come to the meditation. Trust me on that. Planting seeds.
Yeah.
So we want you to think about, we've mentioned this word a couple times, empowerment. How do you personally define empowerment, and what does it mean for you to feel empowered in your life? You don't have to, you can share in the chat if you want, or just connect with the word empowerment and what you think it means to you.
Yeah. Reflect on areas where you might have previously thought, I can't. And how could reframing those into I can contribute to your sense of personal empowerment? Mm-hmm. Every time anything came your way, you said, I can.
Yes.
Rather than I can't. Mm-hmm. Yes, control of reactions, thoughts, and actions.
Yeah.
Strong mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Believing in oneself. Yeah. Believing in your ability. Being empowered.
Yes. Impact on myself, others, or the world by my choices and actions. Yes, yeah. Yes, yes.
Beautiful.
So now we're going to touch on growth. What does growth look like for you on a personal level? What areas of your life do you envision growth and positive change?
Because you can. Mm-hmm. You can do it in every area if you want to. Mm-hmm. You can grow in every area. You can have positive change in every area of your life. Mm-hmm. And you can choose to focus on one at a time, or you can focus on more than one at a time. Mm-hmm. So what's it going to look like? Being confident, experience items on my bucket list. Love that. Mm-hmm. You can have whatever you like on the bucket list. Yeah. Fit body by the mindset shift. Mm-hmm. Being enough. Transfer of fear from starting from scratch, and stay playful. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And actually turn the fear into, there isn't any fear. It's just me taking the next step. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Evolve and reshape my understanding capabilities in the world. Absolutely. Yeah.
We've mentioned this too, choice, right? Because we have, a lot of times we have more choice than we realize. So how can your choices shape your reality? If you have an empowered mindset, how would that affect the choices that you make in this life? So if you think about choices you've made that had a big impact, how did they shape your current reality? For those of you who know my story with my husband, when he first got sick, we made the conscious choice when he was diagnosed and we didn't know if he was going to make it through it or not. We made a conscious choice to look for the gifts. That was an empowering choice. So what if you went through your whole life and applied that to your choices from an empowered mindset?
From any choice, every choice.
Mm-hmm.
So recall a choice that you've made, and how did that set off a chain of events leading to personal growth?
Mm-hmm.
Think of just one choice that you've made in your life that has then set off the chain of events leading to personal growth. Looking back, actually, although I didn't see it as a choice at the time, and I thought it wasn't a good choice, my choice to medically retire was my choice.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, that felt awful and dreadful. But actually, it set off the whole chain of events to completely change my entire life.
Yeah.
In such a positive way. And sometimes we don't realize the choices that we've made, just how positive they are, because we're seeing them in a negative mindset. But as soon as you switch it and say, what was the positive side of that choice? Every choice, there's a positive side. And as you said, Dan, the gift. What was the gift in that choice? Trauma significant. I'm happy that I've ever been in my life at 62. Great, Cindy. I'm 63, so we're in the same happy place. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Okay, so you've envisioned the choice, you've recalled the choice that you made, and I love that. You know, all my choices have been impactful. Yes, our choices are impactful, and they add up, little ones, big ones. So I love that. So now we want you to envision your ideal future. So what is your life vision? Just take a breath in, close your eyes. Imagine your ideal future. Just give it a little glimpse. What choices today can help shape the reality you want tomorrow? What choices today can help shape the reality you want tomorrow? Whether it's your daily sacred choices, daily habits, daily rituals.
Choosing wisely is a word that comes to mind for me.
Mm-hmm. Every choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Abundance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But what if you already have that abundance?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Love myself. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Make the decisions from love rather than fear. Yes, when you can get into your heart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun and play.
Mm-hmm.
And you can reflect on the questions that we've asked you, as because they're the connection between your mindset, your choices, shaping your present and your future. Mm-hmm. It's here. It's all in here. And that is what will help to make the difference. Your choices. You can choose to think, you can choose not to think, you can choose to do, you can choose not to do. You can choose to say, I like that and I can, but I choose to do it tomorrow. Mm-hmm. That's equally a great choice. But the minute you come up with the I can't, we need to do a change. Mm-hmm.
All right, so focus. What do you want to focus on? What aspects of your life do you currently want to focus on and prioritize? What'll bring you the most leverage, but also what do you really want to focus on? Are there specific areas such as relationships, career, personal development that stand out?
And imagine if you intentionally focused on joy in your daily life. How might this shift in focus impact your overall well-being and satisfaction? What if your primary focus was on yourself, your needs, your aspirations, your self-care? How could this focus positively influence various aspects of your life?
And what if you consider shifting your focus from what went wrong to what went right in your day? How might this perspective actually alter your mindset and emotional state? Because if you envision making positivity a central focus in your thoughts and actions, what would that mean?
Mm.
How could this intentional focus contribute to a more optimistic and fulfilling life? So, Heidi and I, we're planting seeds, things for you to think about. Yes, the
Absolutely.
oxygen mask helps everyone.
Absolutely.
And we are
Absolutely.
bringing attention to this. Yes.
Yeah. And how would you approach your tasks, your interactions, your focus, your overall experiences with a mindset of today is my best day ever? The minute you open your eyes and you're going to get out of bed in the morning, you start with a thought, today is my best day ever. And you repeat that phrase in your mind throughout your day. How would you approach everything? How would it change? What would be different?
I actually have a friend who literally every day is the best day. So, what we're doing here is when you have an intentional mindset, you open yourself to opportunities to grow.
Mm.
When we cultivate an intentional mindset, it's got a remarkable power to unlock opportunities and really fuel your personal growth. By you consciously choosing where to direct your focus, embracing positivity, approaching each day to make it the best day ever, you are paving the way for transformative experiences.
And life is full of possibilities waiting to be discovered. And your mindset serves as the key to unlocking these doors. So embrace the journey of self-discovery, remain open to new perspectives, and watch as intentional mindset becomes the catalyst for boundless opportunities and continual growth.
Here is to a mindset that propels you towards a future filled with positivity, achievements, and the realization of your fullest potential.
Identify your focus, shift to positivity, and approach each day with intent.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you've reflected, what needs to shift for you? I'm going to ask Danny to take us into a meditation.
All right, for those of you who have done this before, you know the drill. Center yourself. If you're sitting, if you're standing, you want to make sure you're aligned, spine aligned over your hips. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in. Exhale with a big old sigh. Inhale in. Exhale and release. Let your body just sort of sink into itself. And you can place a hand on your heart or both hands on your heart, wherever your hands feel comfortable. Take a deep breath in again. Exhale. Now you get to trust that all of the questions we've asked, all of the seeds that we have planted, here is where they come to light. So I want you to picture yourself, imagine yourself in a quiet space. And before you is a full-length mirror. And this mirror reflects not just your physical appearance, but your entire being. So you can see your inside and your out energetically. Take a good look at what that looks like before you. And as you gaze into the mirror, notice your emotions and your thoughts. Allow your reflection to reveal what needs to shift. Do you need more aspects that bring you joy and fulfillment? Are there shadows or spaces that need acknowledgement, love, and light? Just trust the process. Take a moment to breathe in. Exhale. Look in that mirror and what do you feel? What do you see? Do you hear anything? As you continue looking into this mirror, notice any negative thoughts or beliefs that may appear. What shape or color do they take? What do they look like, feel like? Do they make a sound and have a voice? Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Whew. Release. And instead of turning these away, how could you shift these thoughts, these beliefs before you? Turn your attention to the mirror. As you continue to observe, notice any lingering concerns, any thoughts that might be cluttering your mind. Even if they've been shifted, maybe they're not shifted, but if they're cluttering your mind, with a sense of intention and gratitude, thank them. And imagine that you can reach out and fold them like a piece of clothing. And before you appears a big box that's made of light and love. We're going to fold up our thoughts, beliefs, concerns, and put them tenderly and with gratitude into this box. And you can access them at any time if you really want to. We're just going to fold them up, put them in the box. And notice as you fold and put each one into this box of light and love, how you feel. Fold it, put it in the box. And notice as you're filling this box up, if you look in the mirror, notice your reflection is actually becoming clearer and more focused. And when you have addressed all of these thoughts, concerns, beliefs that are cluttering, when you've put them in this box, it's a big box, it holds a lot, may not look like it, but it holds a lot. When you're ready, close the lid and just lift the box up into the air and release it. Let the box just go on its way. Take a big inhale in, exhale, release. And just notice the clarity that you're feeling. Inhale, exhale, release. Now bring your focus back to the body and notice at your core, wherever that is in your body for you, notice there's a warm, glowing light it's just glowing. And every time you breathe in, every time you breathe, you just feel this light expanding. It's throughout your body and it's rejuvenating every cell. And it is just energizing you. And it's getting bigger and bigger. And it's letting you connect with your energy within. And really feel it empowering and revitalizing you. And look in the mirror. What does this look like? What does it feel like? Does it have a sound? And as this light shines brighter, what shifts in you? As you notice this light, you'll start to notice there's a sense of gratitude in this light. And take a moment to, as you look in the mirror, you can see moments of gratitude and appreciation from your past. What are you grateful for? What do you appreciate about yourself? About your loved ones? Just let that gratitude mix in with that light. And it's just getting bigger and bigger, and it's outside of you now. And watch as your inner world illuminates with this light and this gratitude. How do you feel? What is shifting within you? Just let yourself feel. Breathe. Now, as you look back at the mirror, a doorway appears in it. And as the door opens, visualize a path that leads to new horizons, that leads right to your life vision. Step through with confidence, acknowledging the changes that you have the power to make within yourself, changes that are going to pull you forward step by step. Just imagine yourself walking into that vision, feeling that gratitude filled with that light. Maybe put a smile on your face if that feels right. Take a deep breath in and just sigh. Let yourself feel. Let yourself see. Let yourself hear. Just take note of what you notice. When you're ready, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, move your body back and forth, and gently open your eyes. May you carry the insights, the empowerment, and the connection with your inner self from this visualization into your day, your week, your month, and beyond, knowing that you have the power to shift and to grow. And the key is, it resides in you.
Thank you, Dan. What was interesting, I've been working, as Danny's noted, I've been working on my health and gut biome and microbiome and building. And ages ago, I said, I wish they had a machine where you could just move into the machine and it could look inside and say, oh, you need to tweak this, you need to tweak that. And as I was doing the meditation, Danny and I did it earlier, I was actually in the machine that I want somebody to create. And there I was moving parts of my internal organs around to be where I'd like them, just to tweak them here and adjust them slightly there, knowing all the while that my body's already doing that change. So it was beautiful. So thank you, Danny. That was, so she's already created the machine that I want people to create. There you go. And she didn't even know. She didn't even know that.
Oh, so this is our closing thought, everyone. I value myself by being aware of my mindset and focus. I've talked before about awareness is power. That is the first step. And this closing thought is a reminder that self-worth is intricately connected to the choices that we make in directing our focus. It is a powerful affirmation of our commitment to living a life aligned with our values and our aspirations. So feel free to take a picture of this and post it someplace.
Stick it
and
somewhere.
remind
Absolutely.
yourself, stick it somewhere.
Yeah, make it visual. Because valuing ourselves through mindfulness of our mindset is an ongoing practice. It isn't do it once and then forget about it. It's about doing it again. It's about being present. making intentional choices, and celebrating the positive impact this has on our overall sense of well-being. If I want to feel well, I've got to value myself. I've got to be aware of here. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Neil. Neil's on it, man. I love these like
Beautiful.
people who can do screenshots really fast.
Me too.
Thank you.
Me too.
Embracing the awareness of our mindset and focus, it's an act of self-empowerment. And Heidi and I are all about empowerment, in case you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a daily commitment to really value our well-being and consciously nurture our outlook on life.
And by acknowledging the impact of our thoughts and our intentional focus, we take charge of our narrative and we create a space for personal growth. Because you have to create a space for something to come in, there's got to be a space for it to arrive. So it's a journey of self-discovery and self-appreciation. All about me. She's going to go despite the dark and the cold. Yes, go.
You go. Access that inner light. You're all warmed up now.
Yeah, absolutely. My daughters need me to role model. Absolutely. Yeah. So just to say, you can connect with us in various ways. All of our events like today's are recorded. They're all on our YouTube channel. And the link for that is there. We are working on getting a QR code to make it simpler for people just to snapshot, but we haven't done it yet. We tried earlier and it failed. But that's beside the point.
Progress, not perfection, people.
Exactly.
Like, but we are imperfectly perfect. So.
We will take on that challenge and we'll create it for next time. We're also visible on Facebook, Instagram, and Telegram. Okay. And we've also got a WhatsApp group if you'd like to join that. There's a link and that's now gone into the chat as well.
Yep.
And Danny and I are both Lifebook leaders. If you know of anybody, or if you want to go through Lifebook yourself, if you haven't already, most of you have, you can contact either of us to do that. And there's more ways to connect. I'm contactable via It's Your Time To, and Danny through Inner Lighthouse Musings. So you can connect with us in various ways.
So I want to touch on something in the comments. The meditation just revealed that there was a huge shadow taking up my body like a dress, filling everything except my arms, shoulders, and head. So sometimes when you do meditations, things pop up.
Yes.
And one of the things you can do is you can go back and take a deep breath, and you can, what do you want to do with that shadow? You can imagine that you are removing it like a piece of clothing. You can put it in the box of light and love. I know Heidi has some techniques for dealing with that as well. The key is when you notice things like this coming up, this is again a sign of awareness.
Yes.
And you get to choose what you want to do with it and how you want to handle it. So if you have other questions, Ilse, you can contact Heidi and I about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And do not be sorry. Do not be sorry, because the stuff happens and everyone meditates differently. I like to tell people, when you're doing a meditation, remember that you don't have to have all the answers. Sometimes someone might be like, oh, envision this. And you're like, I'm not envisioning anything. Trust the process and that you're getting what you need out of it.
And so actually be thankful for what your subconscious mind has brought to you, because it's allowed you to see something. Yes. So it's actually allowing you to see something it wants you to focus on.
Oh, I love that, Ilse, that you took it off as a piece of clothing. See, you knew what to do. You knew, intuitively knew what to do.
And you can put that, hang it up in the closet. You can put it in the box. You can do whatever you want to do with that. You can let it go. Because it's okay to allow it to stay. It's okay to allow it to go. So allow it. Let it do whatever it wants to do. It's beautiful. And I like this. Stephanie said, take charge of my narrative, make space for myself. Absolutely. Because out of everything we've talked about here today, there's only one person that matters in all of this, and it's you. Nobody else matters. So when you say it's all about me, me, that's not being selfish. It's valuing yourself. Because the only person that matters is you.
I'd like to bring up too, I talk about this, you all know, well, most of you know, I love tea, and you can't pour from an empty cup. If you are not filling your cup up, there's no way you're going to be able to fill somebody else's up. You can't fill from an empty cup. So this is about, you start with you, and then the value you create when you have a full cup, the value you can give to others, you know, that's the key here.
Yeah.
So
beautiful.
Yeah. So
thank you for all being with us.
Yes,
thank you for staying with us. We hope that you've got some value from it. Those of you that are off camera, if you want to come on camera now to say hi.
Well, do you want to stop the we'll stop the recording first.
Yeah, we'll stop the recording now. Yeah.